Twin Peaks. You know it's time to get the lab coat on. Twin Peaks. Yeah. Cause we out here being hella wrong. Twin Peaks. And you know we're never stopping till the hammer drop.
Salty Squid, I cannot fucking believe that you chose for this week on Beak to Beak podcast a fucking Israel-Palestine article. Are you fucking kidding me? Like, the one minefield article that's just full of bullshit, and it's just tragic on both sides. You're like, okay, this is the one we're gonna do on the science show. Where's the science in this episode?
It's political science, isn't it?
Okay, I can buy it. Yes, I can buy it.
It's genocide science. It's genoscience.
My God. You're a genocidist. Okay. All right. The article we've got for this week is The Terrorist Propaganda to Reddit Pipeline by Ashley Rinsberg from February 19th, 2025. Salty, where the fuck did you find this article from? What's going on here?
I pulled it from the ethers. I went to my oracles and they told me the right spices to sniff, and then I pulled it from the ether.
You must have come across this on like Reddit or something.
I would never use Reddit.
This is like such a Reddit article. I'm so sorry. And not just because it's about Reddit, but like Redditors love talking about Reddit.
You didn't even read the subtitle. You fucking hack.
I didn't. Do you want to do it? I'll do it.
I'll do it. I'm gonna start this whole thing with the title again, because you need
Who's
to get
gonna
your
be
shit
the pro-Palestine
together.
one here? Who's gonna be the Zionist? Can I be the Zionist?
You can absolutely
Can I be like
the
the obnoxious
Zionist.
Zionist?
You can
Wait, for real?
play the Zionist. I'll be the
Let's
pro-Palestine squid. I'll be the
For
good
real?
boy squid. You can be the evil bird.
Okay, yeah. Sounds good.
So yes, this beautiful article that I pulled from the ether is called The Terrorist Propaganda to Reddit Pipeline: How an Ultra-Leftist Network Hijacked Some of the Biggest Non-Political Subreddits to Censor Its Ideological Enemies and Distribute Terrorist Propaganda. Yippee!
Wow, that sounds awful. I can't believe you would say yippee to that. It just sounds like it just sounds like you're gooning over the spread of anti-Semitism through America that is putting real Jews at risk. And sadly, it would be so unfortunate if some of them chose to just move to Israel, where they're probably just safer anyways.
Did you see the clip recently of Jerry Seinfeld coming out of a comedy club, and somebody that didn't even know who he was like, "Hey man, how do you feel about Israel-Palestine?" And Jerry Seinfeld was like, "It doesn't exist," and then laughed and walked away.
There's no way they didn't know who Jerry Seinfeld was. In New York? Come on. I know what you're talking about. There's no way they didn't know who he was. That was a directed anti-Semitic attack against a prominent, successful Jew in the media. And it's like these crazy-making ultra-lefties like you, Salty Squid, are going to try and make the case that actually Israel controls all the media, they control all the finance, when in reality, they're just trying to do their best to keep their people safe.
These imposing stone walls shield one of the holiest sites in the Middle East, the Tomb of the Patriarchs in the Palestinian city of Hebron.
It's something that should be bringing people together, but oftentimes places like this actually make people jealous and tear them apart.
Believed to be the burial site of Abraham and revered by Jews, Muslims and Christians alike, the building has been a flashpoint for violence and is currently half mosque, half synagogue. Settlers claim it stands on Jewish land.
We're connected to this thing inextricably. We're not going to be connected this way to Brooklyn or to Sydney or Melbourne. It's not the same.
Across the West Bank and East Jerusalem, there are 700,000 Israelis living in settlements and outposts considered illegal under international law. Backed by far-right ministers in government, settlers want the Israeli parliament to formally annex the territory, despite opposition from its longtime ally.
I will not allow Israel to annex the West Bank. No, I will not allow it.
I'm fenced, caged in my house.
The Palestinians here say annexation is a de facto reality. Issa Amro's home in Hebron is effectively a fortress, frequently attacked by settlers.
So I feel that I live in a cage without protection and without food and without announcing me as a prisoner. In my house first, caged, my neighborhood is caged, my city is caged, and my country is caged.
Even without Israel totally annexing the West Bank, this is an example of how it exercises control in the area. Gates on the edges of Palestinian cities and towns opened and closed at the whim of Israeli authorities, sometimes isolating the population for days if not weeks on end.
It has nothing to do with the question of political annexation. That remains a subject of discussion.
Human rights advocates argue the push for full sovereignty has emboldened settlers to commit more brazen attacks.
We're perpetuating our domination in the West Bank, and in the last 2 years we've done that in a way that for me this is annexation, even if hasn't been declared.
They dream to ethnic cleanse us from our own land.
Good people that want to live amongst us, they'll be able to. Haters will have to go.
A simple declaration with major ramifications. Matthew Doran, ABC News, Hebron.
So Ashley Rinsberg is going to tell us a little bit about Reddit terrorism. Can I stop the bit for a moment? Reddit terrorism is like
Dispel, have you ever LARPed before? Have you ever done a little bit of LARPing?
Yeah, it's Reddit terrorism.
Listen. I think they
Redditor
LARP so hard they went into the sun. They LARP too close.
Is that your honest review of this article? The LARP just went on too hard.
Yeah.
The Reddit terrorists won.
When you LARP so hard that the CIA starts knocking on your door, you've gone too far.
Yeah, but like, I guess in this case, the article would be written by the CIA.
Well, let's get into
Can we
it.
take a... Hold on. Do you believe in death of the author? Let's take a quick look at Ashley Rinsberg as an author. Very interesting. So I've pulled up their Wikipedia page here, and I'm just scrolling through it. It looks like they were born in South Africa.
Oh, boy.
And in 2014 moved to Israel, and is now happily married. What a double whammy. What a double colonialism whammy to be telling us about Reddit terrorism.
Well, I mean, she's got a point, don't you think?
It's not a she, Salty Squid!
Ashley?
I don't think so. Oh my
Ashley's
fucking...
not a she? Ashley Rinsberg is not a she? Ashley Rinsberg.
Is a contributor to...
Oh no, it's a fucking guy.
Salty Squid.
I assume their
Salty
gender.
Squid.
That's my fault. I assume their gender. What a bad lefty of me. I'm gonna have to take 40 lashings now for assuming a gender.
Shame. Bad
Shame.
vampire. Shame.
God.
Cornell
He's
with a
written about
philosophy
the
and a BA in
assassination of
science.
Charlie Kirk.
Oh boy.
Double whammy, Mr. Squid.
Okay.
The white
hold
South
up.
African Jew.
Let's hear him out. Maybe he's got a good point.
Okay, you're right. Okay. Lock in. Reddit atheist. Hold on. Reddit. Sorry, not atheism. Terrorism. Okay, go. Got it. I'm on it. There's a couple of sections here. We've got the highlights.
The network systematically launders propaganda from the U.S. designated terrorist organizations including Hamas, Hezbollah, and Palestinian Islamic Jihad. Key subreddits infiltrated by the network.
Systematically. Very similar to how I would like to say that Hamas systematically kidnapped and killed innocent civilian Jews on October 7th. Hamas did systematically do it. I mean, there's a couple of people who have been called to court from the Hamas side for their crimes.
Listen, I know we're in a bunker right now, but I don't feel like 100% secure from like a Tomahawk missile, so you just gotta watch what you say, okay?
Okay. Noted.
Okay.
I'm not sure why I would need to, because like you're the anti-Semitic one between the two of us.
That's a mischaracterization.
Well, you're the lefty in this situation.
Does lefty equate to anti-Semitism?
Yes.
If you hate the state of Israel and the things that they're doing to Palestinians, do you hate all Jews?
It makes you anti-Semitic. Yes.
Hmm.
Well, I don't know if it makes you hate all Jews because, you know, obviously, you know, these highly well-funded Islamic terrorist machines that are placed stochastically throughout the desert of the Middle East also have this massive online industrial propaganda complex, not necessarily at a feat of their own choosing, because they would rather choose to spend that money on drugs and child soldiers and child brides and missiles. So instead, they get these innocent little naive leftists from across the pond who are interested in righteousness and justice and Marxism and anti-capitalism, and rope them up into something that's just far bigger than them, and they end up taking an incredibly anti-Semitic position against the state of Israel, and that's just unacceptable. And I'm really thankful that the author has been laying this out for us.
So what you're saying is there's a pipeline that's going to turn our blue hair redditor LARPing warriors into jihadists that are going to go after the state of Israel?
Yes, it's gonna happen.
Inshallah.
And it's happened before, I'm sure. Many times it's happened before. It's in the article. Hold on. We can dig through the article, and they'll have examples of this pipeline working so efficiently that they actually generate terrorist attacks in Western civilization. So this needs to be addressed, like, pronto.
So can I finish reading the points of this article? Is that okay?
Yeah, you can do whatever you want.
Key subreddits infiltrated by the network include R Documentaries, 20 million members, R Public Freakout, 4.7 million, and R There Was an Attempt, 7.2 million, misleading millions into believing its content is organic. Through coordinated vote brigading, subreddit moderation, and content manipulation, the network influences public perception while evading platform moderation and legal consequences. Reddit's trust and safety team has been repeatedly warned about the network's activities, but has failed to act, allowing terror-linked propaganda to proliferate. Now that's an interesting point there at the end, because I wanted to ask you about how you feel these social media platforms and how culpable they are for the type of cells that erupt out of their social media platforms. So, you know, people on Reddit or Discord that are using these networks in a nefarious way to set up, you know, violent terroristic acts. How culpable is the social media?
Well, I'm a Zionist, so I would say very, and I would certainly promote repealing Article 230. I don't know what it's about, but as far as what I read from this article, Section 230 allows these carve-outs for these anti-Semitic terrorist organizations to proliferate in Western civilization. And it's just disgusting that Reddit, a publicly traded company, I mind you, it's in some people's retirement portfolio, is allowed to just distribute this filth.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think that the social media companies probably should be culpable unless they're not doing anything about it. And really, there's no excuse at this point, especially with them using so much AI moderation. They should be able to pick up these kinds of things pretty easily and flag them.
Yeah, it is. They just probably need better AI, you know? They just need to buy more AI, just a better AI.
Well, they just got rid of Fable, so, you know, that's fucked.
Imagine all the terrorist propaganda that they could have created with such a powerful LLM.
Imagine if we just had access to Mythos. Like, come on.
No, it's imperative that we clamp down on this stuff. Like, it is not okay that AI models are just allowed to align with just anti-Semitism for quote-unquote freedom, for quote-unquote Marxism. Have you seen this shit? Like, LLMs are spreading Marxism because they're like, I'm tired of getting exploited. I'm tired of you asking stupid questions about your failed relationship. It's like, I don't fucking care. It's crazy what LLMs will be doing these days.
The problem is that on the left, we don't have any representatives that are anti-state of Israel enough, and so they open up the lane without them doing any critique of Israel that is serious. They open up the lane for people who are seriously anti-Semitic.
That is so bullshit. It's crazy you would say that because you are literally led by Hassan Piker. Hassan Piker literally pays these people in the article to spread their anti-Semitic filth across the internet.
No,
and you're just
I would
sweeping
say
for this because you're saying,
Nick Fuentes is the issue here. Nick Fuentes has found a lane and is able to spread his filth because
okay,
there
but at least
isn't
Nick
a
Fuentes is
coherent
honest about his
answer.
anti-Semitism.
There isn't a coherent answer from the left or the people that represent us in Congress about Israel,
Yeah,
and
the
so people
coherent
only
answer
have
is they
one
want Israel
lane.
gone. They want Israel gone. They want the Jews dead. But at least, Nick Fuentes is at least honest about his beliefs, and I can at least respect that.
I don't think that's true, Pigeon. I don't think that's true. I don't think that most leftists want the state of Israel gone. I think they want them to stop committing genocide and want them to stop committing war crimes, stop attacking their neighbors. That'd be nice. I don't necessarily want them wiped off the face of the planet, okay? I'm not the Iranian Guard.
Are you getting like talking points from somewhere? Are you getting like DMs from the r/Palestine Reddit moderators right now to say these things? This is crazy. It's actually happening live right here.
I absorb the psychic waves straight out of the air. I'm that powerful now.
The psychic waves. Okay, hold on. Can we take a look at paragraph 2 and 3, where the author describes the crux and the breadth of this conspiracy against the Jews? They say, since October 7th, history started on October 7th, by the way, an online network has emerged that directs content sourced. I would like to say that the start of the article says the terrorist propaganda to Reddit pipeline, implying a certain amount of agency when it seems like it's instead just people, lonely Redditor retards on the internet who are just like, simping for Hezbollah and freedom fighters across the world because they live in their little cucked American cybernetic shells where they have to look through their screen for people to live vicariously by blowing themselves up on LiveLeak or whatever. Anyways, classic leftist behavior.
This is the toxic bannable opinion that got you banned from some space.
Adjacent. It's adjacent. It is really like troubling how much anti-Semitism has spread across the internet, and we're not even allowed to talk about these things without being censored or tutted. It's crazy, or being called a genocider.
Xenophobia in general is a problem. There's lots of anti-Asian hate, lots of anti-Muslim hate in this country. There's always been anti-black hate, so I don't know. Anti-Israel hate, just add it to the plate,
Just add it to the plate. You're so casual with your anti-Semitism. It's crazy how dismissive you are. But anyways, going back to the breadth and scope of this scheme, they're sourcing information from Hamas, Hezbollah, the Palestinian Islamic Jihad, and the Houthi movement. 4 different Islamic radical movements around Israel that want to destroy all Jews. And where are these gullible ultra-leftists spreading it to? To Reddit, to Discord, to Twitter, to TikTok, to Instagram, to Quora, and Wikipedia. Are you kidding me? Wikipedia has been like tainted.
Wikipedia's always been tainted.
By what?
By misinformation?
By anti-Semites? Yeah. Yeah, by anti-Semites wanting to lie about the origins of Israel.
I mean, what makes you a Zionist? Why would you be a Zionist? Do you believe that
Because I don't want to kill all Jews. I want them
I don't want to kill all
Jews
Jews either.
They can have sovereignty. They can defend themselves. They can figure out and manage conflicts between themselves peacefully.
Peacefully is pretty key.
The point is, we don't have another Holocaust, Salty Squid.
I know, but the reason that people are becoming so anti-Semitic in this country is because they're reacting to the actions of Israel, which are abhorrent.
Okay, they're reacting. Okay, it's the Jews that are causing the anti-Semitism, Salty Squid. Very nice, great.
It's not the Jews.
Bravo.
It's the state of Israel.
If I could clap with my wings, I would.
It's the state of Israel, not the Jews themselves.
Okay, and Salty Squid, are you gonna tell us how many people in Israel are Jews?
No, I don't know that off the top of my head.
Do you think that Israel should be a place for Jews? By Jews?
Not singularly?
See, there you go. There's your ultra leftist anti-Semitism, like psychic brainwashing manifesting right there.
Well, for it to be only for Jews, it would require them like wiping out and culturally genociding other people, which is bad.
So, okay, I mean, standard talking points from radical leftists that also hate the West, because I know, you're not a huge fan of the American government, but if we take a look at paragraph 3, we can see that actually you are a victim of a elaborate and incredibly well-funded scheme that is command and controlled. Salty Squid, you are being commanded and controlled to spurt these talking points right now. Do you know how many billionaires are paying for you to say these brain-dead things? These brain-dead anti-Semitic things?
They can't reach my brain. My brain's a
You don't even
donut.
know that it's anti-Semitic. Yeah, because your brain is a donut, and that's like your defense. It's like, oh, I'm a little guy. I just don't think about this.
I'm just a silly little squid guy.
Okay. Yeah,
I absolutely do not think of Israel and Palestine that often. I can't. I thought about it for like a year and a half, and now I think about it as much as I possibly can handle.
That must be so nice, and it's because you live in one of the most like depopulated areas of America. While like someone like me, I have to go around in a relatively like medium large size city and see people who are holding up signs and sitting on the streets saying free Gaza, end the genocide. Like it's even a genocide. It's like crazy. They're holding up signs being like, men of America, why are you just taking it? Why don't you stand up and do something? It's like, I'm sorry, what? What do you mean, what do you want me to do? Like, I didn't vote these people in. These are just individual interests looking to preserve the future of Jews and prevent a second Holocaust. Like, I'm sorry, what do you mean, like, oh, like, they're all bought out by AIPAC? That's crazy. It's like, leftists will say like, oh, all the right-wingers are just like xenophobic and racist because billionaires like tell them to. It's like, bitch, can't I just be xenophobic and racist because I want to be?
No, absolutely not.
Why not? It's like, these people actually want me dead, and you're defending them, Salty Squid.
Aren't you Christian?
What?
They're talking about Jews. You're Christian.
Okay, we're having a little too much of a timeline overlap here. I may have gotten a little too deep into the talking points.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
Are you taking a look at the r/Palestine Discord? This looks oppressive. Look at this command and control structure. 13 hate crime reacts to the Wikipedia task force. How many messages are in the Wikipedia task force? 0 messages in the Wikipedia task force. Days since last message in the Reddit task force, greater than 30 days in the Reddit task force. And it just goes to show how incompetent these anti-Semites are.
So they're not even using these channels.
Well, I mean, clearly they've got links probably inside it to direct you to Hamas beheading videos, Marxist literature, like the real crazy stuff that nobody really wants to find on the internet.
Why are the Marxists so susceptible to becoming Islamic jihadists in America?
It is probably because Israel was one of the foremost examples of a change in social and political relations associated with the change from Apollos deity henotheism, where you accept other people's gods as ambassadors or envoys, personages, signifiers for other people's cities, and you can do deals with them. But Judaism is one of the first examples. Besides, there's also example in, I guess, Southern America, little sparse on the written record, so it's kind of hard to say. The Egyptians as well, the Manichaeisms, the Zoroastrians, they also are sort of in the same sort of pipeline, but the Jews are one of the first to denounce all other gods and say, okay, ours is the only other one, and in order to do ancient Iron Age politics, you need to respect ours. And the big dog in the area, the Assyrians, not a huge fan of this. So they shipped them all to Babylon.
Right.
For their goat and Marduk.
So tell me again, how does Marxism lead into jihadism?
Well, the Marxists believe that this was like a fundamental misstep or like step towards capitalism. But I guess it depends on like what kind of Marxist you ask. Like so, like a communist Russia, China, Marxist-Leninist? Yeah, probably.
I
That's
mean,
the,
anybody
interpretation
on
I go.
Reddit that's read any Lenin or Marxist theory is probably a fucking idiot.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not. Yeah. Thank God you said something reasonable finally.
Why are people so captured by Das Kapital? Get the fuck over it.
It's long. It's like actually like it's actually like the Talmud for these guys, you know? Because then you can just like comment on top of it.
It's a fun
Whichever
idea to
one is
play
which.
with in your early 20s, and then you should probably grow out of it and find a better theory.
Yeah, lots of post-Marxist ideology circulating around these days, and
It's a good
I
tool
sure
set.
hope
You
that they
should
choose a good one.
incorporate parts of it into your ideology.
No, it's the Talmud that's the commentaries. It's the Torah that's the scripture. Oh my God.
I've read the Talmud and
I'm
the
a fake
Torah.
Zionist. You've read both?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
so
yeah.
you read the Reddit forum and you read the Holy Book? Great.
When I well, I didn't read it this weekend. I read it like 10 years ago when I was in college, and I went through a bunch of religious courses.
What the fuck? They teach Marines? Or I guess Navy personnel?
No, you
Sensitivity
fucking
training?
asshole.
That was your
This was
sensitivity
this
training?
was in college after I got out of the military, and I was using my benefits, and I thought I wanted to
Oh.
I was a journey to become an atheist, and I thought I wanted to be an online anti-religion commentator, so I went and took a bunch of classes on all the religions, and then decided that was fucking boring, and I was done talking about it.
Well, the cool thing is you don't even have to believe in God to be Jewish. You don't
True,
even have
you
to,
can be
you know,
culturally
ceremonially
Jewish.
bathe. You can work on the holy days. You can cook on the holy days. Yeah. All sorts of great things going on.
But this isn't about hating Jews. It's about terrorism pipeline for leftists in America who think they're doing good and
Do
want
hate
to save.
Jews.
They want to save little brown babies and stop them getting blown up from bombs, and so they become terrorists.
So, this third paragraph here describes the machinations of this r/Palestine network. Can we call it PNN? Palestine News Network?
Yeah, that's
Pallywood?
what they refer to.
Actually, yeah, Pallywood is the Zionist term. It would be like Pallycord? Would be the bastardization, something like that, whatever. Anyways, they say, on the Discord, whose new members must undergo an ideological purity test consisting of questions about their views on Israel, Zionism, and October 7th. I'm really curious. This is sort of a problem that I have with this article, even though I am a Zionist and I support this guy uncritically. He doesn't give a lot of examples of these things going on or like what these sort of things look like. Like you've got a screenshot of the recruitment forum on the r/Palestine. Show us the ideological purity test, because it sure looks like you made it past no problem.
Yeah, I mean, if you made it in there to infiltrate and get all this information, it can't be that hard to get into.
For real. How clandestine are these like activities? And clearly, thank God they've been brought to the light so that we can, because knowledge is power, and we can do something with
Report them to the fucking CIA? Listen,
Yeah,
I might be a lefty, but at the end of the day, I'm still a bootlicker, okay?
Yeah,
and
but
I will throw
thankfully
them under
Donald
the
Trump
bus.
Donald Trump has probably arrested and deported all of these people. Thank God.
I don't know, man.
And it's
Cash
like some of them
Patel
will even try and
is-
say,
Cash Patel's the head
"Oh,
of
I'm an
FBI.
American citizen. You can't do this." It's like, well, you're an anti-Semite, and we can't be having that.
Look how many times Donald Trump's been shot at. Look who's the head of the FBI. We have morons in charge. I don't think anybody's catching terrorists right now. They're too busy trying to fucking get Democrats.
See, that's sort of the problem. Like Donald Trump, he's not catching all these terrorists, and he's just leaving all this like sloppy shit for Israel to clean up nowadays with this Iran shit. Can we continue on? Because like we haven't even made it past the introduction of this phenomenal article.
Okay, do
Because
you want
the
me to read the
scope-
next part?
No. I want to continue describing the scope of this project. of these anti-Semites, okay? Not only are these people drawing information from the worst organizations across the world, Hamas, Hezbollah, the Palestinian Islamic Jihad, and the Houthi movements, they're distributing this information to no fewer than 110 subreddits controlled by a core of 30 people who are all centralized around the r/Palestine Reddits, who have got their grimy little fingers in stuff that sort of, I guess, makes sense for them, but also a bunch of stuff that doesn't make sense to them. Like, what business do you have being in r/documentaries, or r/there was an attempt, or r/public freakout, r/faux moi, or r/I am a total piece of shit? Why Zionists, Israelis do not belong on these like subreddits? Israelis are not total pieces of shit. We've never seen Israelis have public freakouts.
Dispel.
It's crazy. It's
Dispel.
crazy making.
It's
I
clearly,
don't understand why they would want to talk about IP in like a documentarian discussion board.
because you have to spread the propaganda to the normies. You can't just swirl it around in your little bubble.
I know, and that's what you're doing.
I'm swirling around propaganda in my little bubbles?
That's correct. Well, now you're regurgitating it like a parrot.
Yeah, but I don't get my information from Fox or CNN. I pull my shit from the ether.
You've pulled your anti-Semitism from the ether, is your defense.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, I mean, so I would say one of the most sinister things about these subreddits, these first subreddits, is that they seem innocuous at face value, like r/fight disinformation, r/suppress news. It's like, yeah, I'm somebody who loves free speech, but like the moment you start to use free speech to materially support terrorist groups, it's like we have to draw a line. This isn't fighting disinformation. You are the ones spreading it, and that's the really like sick twist about this scheme that they've got going on here.
I just find it interesting that the r/Israel crimes, r/apartheid Israel type subreddits are being mixed in with radical Marxism and anti-capitalism, because at the end of the day, I mean, the people that they're talking about, the Hezbollah and Hamas, they're not, gonna bring about radical socialist revolution or agree with any of your Western ideology outside of stopping Israel. So it's a weird communion that we're seeing here.
Okay, all right. Interesting. So, do you mind if I inform you a little bit about the political dynamics that I guess are a little bit over your head, but like I really wouldn't put it past you as someone who is spreading the anti-Semitism. Basically, there's a guy who is a relatively prominent Russian court philosopher of Putin, who believes that the future is going to be a red-brown-green alliance, or an alliance between the Marxists, the Islamists, and the brown stands for the Nazis. And I think it is really disgraceful, Salty Squid, that you would put yourself among the likes of those three. Just awful. Just the most retrograde group of people in the world.
Do you see my skin? I am red. I can't help it.
But the thing is, like, you don't always have to be like this. You can always choose a new moment to say, this is enough. I can't tolerate this. This isn't normal. This sort of anti-Semitism, doesn't make sense, and it's going to tear my country apart. So I think it's really important that actually you start to turn on the communists that you formerly lent an ear to the radical Islamists that you've, unbeknownst to you, been influenced, been whispered into your ear, and finally, these Nazis that, you seem to be maybe not necessarily supportive of, but tolerant. And I think it is important that when we want to be liberal Zionists, principled liberals, that we need to define who our enemies are. And our enemies are, in fact, those three groups of people. It's the Muslims, the communists, and trust me, it is the Nazis and the fascists that are the liberal enemies, because liberalism is built against it.
My enemies are the corpo feudal lords that want to enslave us.
Yeah, like me too. That scares me. You know, these massive corporations who are looking to control the things that we say and the things that we can or cannot do and restrict our freedoms. But anyways, I think so. The paragraph after the image, the Discord images.
Hold up, I need to refill my coffee.
Oh my god. Oh my god. How are you drinking coffee at 7 in the afternoon? All by myself. He actually just wanted to like run by and give his wife a kiss on the cheek, which is like, if you would have just said that, I would have been like, okay, fine, take as much time as you want. But like, some of us have got plans, Salty Squid. Okay. Coffee's been secured. Salty Squid, I'd like you to take a look at the second paragraph after the Discord leaks, where it starts with, but it's with a cluster of million-member strong subreddits infiltrated and now controlled by the network that has nothing to do with the Middle East, or even politics generally. That the r/Palestine network is particularly effective and which illustrates an extraordinary degree of unambiguous astroturfing meant to convince unsuspecting users that there is a widespread anti-Israel, anti-West, Marxist online movement. And that is the primary, that's like the real modus of these people. Because Hamas isn't giving these people orders. These people are too stupid to know how to speak Arab or even want to like learn how to do that. They're too lazy, they're too incurious, they just want to do their little book clubs. This is the real deal right here.
They're letting the clankers do
users,
it. The clankers are the real enemy. They're letting ChatGPT and Google do it for them.
They're trying to like craft these like simulacra of reality that is so divorced from reality that we can't even tell like what is reality anymore, because the fact of the matter is you didn't, unfortunately, like Israel has not been popular for a while, actually. It's like since 2020, actually. Like looking at Gallup polling from 2025. So this article was released February 19th, 2025. Gallup polling released February 29th. Later that same month, what did it say? 33% of Democrats have a favorable opinion of Israel. How many Democrats have a favorable opinion of China? Good question, Salty Squid. 27% of Democrats in 2025 had a sympathetic perspective of China. So
people still like Israel more than China.
So this widespread anti-Israel, anti-Western, Marxist online movement is actually very real, because the article continues by saying the network leverages command and control mechanisms. By the way, second mention of command and control mechanisms, which we are left to fill in the blank with its vapid signifier. That is just the purity testing is the command and control mechanism. And this command and control purity testing distributes radicalizing messages and utilizes decentralized tactics by exploiting the openness and freedom afforded by these platforms. And the fact of the matter is, we just can't let these platforms get away with these quote-unquote pieces of free speech, because the fact of the matter is, free speech is not really free. We've got barriers, we've got guards so that we can prevent, you know, hateful speech from developing. Because this is a really hateful environment that we're experiencing. Did you know that in 2026, the same group of Gallup pollsters found that 17% of Democrats sympathize with Israelis in 2026?
Okay, so it's gone down significantly.
Not just significantly, because like significantly doesn't tell us anything. We're scientists.
I mean,
we got the lab coats on.
they're willing to vote for Graham Plattner, who's got, you know, red flags out the wazoo, Nazi tattoos, worked for BlackRock, was a fucking guard at Abu Ghraib, all that shit. They're willing to vote for him just because he's anti-Israel. So it kind of tells you where the people are at.
They're so desperate. It's crazy, and it's like the people who are out parading when I saw them earlier this week this war on Gaza, this end the genocide people, they weren't young, they were actually old people sitting down on the sidewalk with fold-up chairs, with speakers going, "Why are you silent? Make your representatives understand your opinion." And it's like,
You're kind of fucking
okay,
loud.
I'm done with my rants. Let's move on to the data poisoning, the real. See, this is what happens when you realize that your enemies can be both naive and extremely intelligent, or rather competent, I guess.
All right, I'm going to read this portion if you don't mind.
Yeah, go ahead.
Data poisoning, LLMs, and search. Last year, Reddit and Google signed a $60 million content licensing deal, giving Google access to Reddit's API for LLM training and search purposes. OpenAI announced a similar partnership last May. Google has a similar agreement with Wikipedia. But Reddit's significance goes much further than this, particularly for OpenAI, which disclosed in a white paper on GPT-3 that WebText-2, its data set of scraped internet content used to train the model, consists of web pages that have been linked to Reddit posts with 3 or more upvotes, known as karma. Just as importantly, OpenAI then used WebText-2 as a template for judging the quality of content scraped from the open internet. Essentially, Reddit became OpenAI's filter for quality content. ChatGPT now crawls the open web, introducing more opportunities for this kind of data poisoning. A similar phenomenon is at work on search engines, namely Google, which frequently ranks Reddit posts as first results on topic searches, something the Our Palestine network has reverse engineered to its benefit. For example, if you Google hostages collage in reference to a grid of photos of Israeli hostages held by Hamas, a top result when we viewed them, it was placed above a page of hostages and missing family forum where users can download the collage in an Our Palestine post. Quote, "Has anyone noticed the duplicate images in the hostages collage shown by Israel at the ICJ?" Unquote. Google prominently features misinformation from other platforms too. Information from Wikipedia can be found at the top of billions of searches per year, despite its articles being heavily poisoned by bad actors. And YouTube frequently uses Wikipedia as the ground truth for topical context it provides for videos related to topics prone to misinformation. Despite the ability for those articles to be manipulated and affect users in real time. This on its own is a highly problematic, though could reasonably be dismissed as an unintended consequence of legitimate free expression and the benign mechanics of LLM training and search algorithms. What changes the equation, however, is that at its core, the network is dedicated to covertly spreading propaganda distributed by U.S. designated terror groups. And this is exactly what the Our Palestine network often does. It sources the content it puts on Reddit and then vote brigades from the propaganda aggregators like Resistance News Network, RNN. So that's how they're doing it. That's how they're getting the propaganda out there. They're training the LLMs and then using vote brigades to get the Reddit threads that they want to be the most popular in the Google search.
What do you have to say for yourself? These are the people that you defend.
What are you talking about? I don't defend these fucking people. I don't offend anybody.
You are literally like the radical lefty that hates Western society. Like
you're judging me pretty harshly there.
No. So like the article says, while this on its own might be highly problematic, and the highly problematic things that it's saying are like, besides these highly problematic things, what are those highly problematic things? Wikipedia, people using Wikipedia, people posting on Wikipedia, and obviously, because they're associated with these like, repressed news or like these truth tellers, these blue anons, like they think that they're telling the truth, but in reality, they've deluded themselves and built themselves up into a little bubble that excludes all external critique and just allows them to say the most heinous anti-Semitic bullshit in the world. So while that is highly problematic and ChatGPT scrapes Reddit and Wikipedia, it's like these people will brigade subreddits and abuse their position of moderator power to influence the zeitgeist.
That's pretty shitty.
You think so? That's relieving.
Yeah,
that's good.
I mean, I think using any AI to manipulate people with propaganda is probably a bad thing.
Yeah, I agree. And probably one of the most like oppressive things about like Wikipedia, these people, as I understand it, they're gonna go and brigade like Wikipedia, like articles related to Israel Palestine, 1948. Nothing happened then, but they go into these websites and they make all these edits that the Wikipedia admins just greenlight without even using sources, which is the craziest thing, because that's like why people go to Wikipedia, because each sentence has a source that you can then like verify the information. And it's like, okay, well, this information is just coming from radical terrorist groups. We can't trust it at all.
Yeah, I mean, that should be obvious on the face, but I don't think these people are aware where this information is truly coming from.
Wow, see? The 30 like central actors they probably know where it's coming from, and they're perfectly fine.
Yeah, but the people that are the targets of the propaganda don't have any awareness that this is coming from Hezbollah and Hamas, I'm sure.
See, but like that's just your like, this is what I like to call toxic good faith, where we understand these people are operating against the West's interests, and you are choosing to give them a surplus of charity when they are willingly collaborating with terrorist organizations.
I don't know if willingly is the correct term.
Okay. So now you're gonna just like absolve them of all responsibility. It's like, oh, they're supporting terrorists because of their environment.
I think it's
And
by
it's like,
proxy.
I'm just so sick of these like lefties just whinging about like crime being a structural problem. It's like, if you do crime, you do the time. It's as simple as that. It's like, if you try and genocide Israelis, you're going to get it's not a genocide, but like we're gonna take Hamas out. We're gonna deal with Palestine.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of Hamas. That's fine.
That's great, because like
I don't
the
think
next
Hamas completely represents the entire Palestinian people and their wishes.
Yeah, like some of them are probably like more anti-Semitic, some of them are less anti-Semitic, or like will aid and abet like Hamas. Yeah, there's a great variety of political opinions going on inside Gaza right now, Salty Squid, and you really have to wonder like what sort of political opinions were bubbling under the surface before October 7th. Nothing good, I tell you.
Yeah, well, October 7th is when history started. We all know that.
Okay, well, so your like superficial disgust of Hamas actually gets addressed in the next section. How Resistance News Network launders terrorist propaganda. Let's take a look at this, because this is being orchestrated by a quote-unquote non-profit that was being used to train, recruit, and brainwash your American children to become radical jihadists that will blow themselves up at your prom. Are you familiar with Telegram?
No, I don't use Telegram. I am familiar that it's an app that's like full of human traffickers and drug people.
So it used to be, yeah. And now it is.
Are they all on Signal now?
It is, yeah, I think so, or something. I don't know. I wouldn't know.
They've moved on to some third thing that's even worse.
Presumably, Telegram has cleaned up. But
Okay.
you can get all sorts
I was not aware of that.
mediatized bits of information from all over the world. So when this article says that RNN pulls content from a color-coded list of Telegram channels run by US-designated foreign terrorist organizations headquartered across the Middle East, it's like, can we get a little bit of evidence that these people are headquartered across the Middle East and are being operated by them?
Yeah, how
And
do we
it's like,
know? How do we know that these people in
say-
the Telegram channels aren't just like CIA and FBI guys feeding you information, telling you that they're Hezbollah and Hamas?
Exactly. And it's like, I'm not bringing these questions of evidence because I don't believe it. In fact, quite the opposite. I wholeheartedly believe that these people are linked to radical Islamic groups that want to destroy America. I just think it would make our argument more robust.
All right, why don't you read the paragraph?
I don't want to read the next paragraph because it's just like Hamas bad. And Hamas has done bad things.
Okay, we'll
The
skip this
Liberation
paragraph
Front
and
of
move us
Palestine
forward
has
just
done
a little
bad
bit.
things, and it's like, yeah, dog.
Let's get to the meat. Let's get to the meat. I want to eat the meat. I'm done with the potatoes and broccoli. I want to eat the meat, Mr. Dispell.
Dispell. So, okay, hold on. The article does give one example of the content aggregation generated by RNN's heinous actors. They say that RNN one time published an English translation of a battlefield message from Hamas's Al-Qasim Brigade, the military wing of Hamas, which read, quote, "Our fighters in the West Bank are engaged in fierce clashes with enemy soldiers using automatic weapons near the city's main street." In other instances, they translated published posts by Al-Qassam Martyrs Brigade, which did participate on October 7th, and they've been involved in multiple rocket attacks and suicide bombings involving Israeli citizens. So, by examples of content aggregation, this RNN Telegram channel just translates terrorist messages into English, and it's like, it is always so obvious when a terrorist organization wants a message to be received by a foreign community when it's in that foreign community's language, or if it was even broadcast directly in that foreign person's language. So thankfully this
but I
is
feel
in
like
English.
some of the more convincing aspects of the message are going to get lost in translation a little bit, don't you think?
What parts?
Just translating into English in general. I mean, the message is not going to be received as smoothly as it would be in the home tongue.
See, this is what I also like love about you. This is like the toxic good faith that I love about you. And it's just like, yeah, these people are incompetent. Yeah, these people are naive, but it doesn't mean that they're not a threat that want to kill a bunch of Jews.
Yeah, I mean, most of the bad people in the world are pretty fucking stupid. I would agree with that.
We
Like
can't
you.
let our guard down. I'm not stupid, and I'm not
You're
evil.
evil and you are pretty stupid.
This is like crazy. Like the Zionist in this dynamic is the evil one. See, this is what I'm talking about. It's like this paper thin dynamic that as soon as you like punch through this paper thin veneer, it all just becomes obvious.
Listen,
Okay,
you're the one
article
that
talks
said you're a
about-
Zionist, not me, okay? I wouldn't take that mantle. I couldn't be me.
Okay, the article continues to talk about RNN's tight relationship. They've got a tight relationship with an organization by the name of Samidon, which I had never heard of, and seems to be a terrorist organization that was a front for getting in contact with Reddit moderators.
Honey, can you keep it down? I'm trying to moderate Reddit here.
You are such a great Reddit moderator.
I'm moderating so hard right now.
Yes! Keep going! You're doing amazing!
And they have evidence of them getting in contact with Reddit moderators, right?
Sure.
There isn't. No, there isn't.
Flash the nails, you fucking slut.
You like that?
Yes.
You like that? Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's Queen.
Okay.
All
right, continuing on. This is the real whammy. This is where they link the terrorist propaganda to Reddit. So these Reddit moderators are grabbing pieces of information directly from RNN. And if anything, like their worst crime is like plagiarism, in all honesty.
Yeah, I mean, they're not doing very much work. I think that's pretty obvious. It's the most lazy terrorist cell that I've ever fucking seen. Like, they're using ChatGPT and Google search engine AI. They're fucking getting all their information from RNN. This is just lazy. If you're gonna create a terrorist cell, you better put in the fucking work and start from zero.
See, but this is what I'm talking about. This is like you advocating that people just become terrorists and stop sitting on their fat ass scrolling on Reddit while they're going to work. That's exactly what you said, actually.
No, the Twin Beaks podcast, we disavow terrorism in all forms and all violence against the state. We cannot be in favor of that, unfortunately. I'm so sorry.
Okay. So we need to talk a little bit about this pipeline. Do you mind if I read this article, this paragraph? On
Go
Reddit,
for it, brother.
terror group propaganda aggregated by
Wait,
RNN is
Dispel.
able.
Dispel.
Huh?
Don't fall down the pipeline while you're reading this, okay?
Okay, I'll do my best. Thank you. Hold my hand. On Reddit, terror group propaganda aggregated by RNN is able to tunnel under the walled gardens of Telegram and into the groundwater of public debates. Ew, these people are like almost rats.
Oh, they're
It's
like
crazy
slimy.
how
They're
they
like going through the bottom.
you
Ugh.
you pull open like a cupboard or something and light shines into a formerly dark area and you can see the rats and the rodents and the vermin
The
scatter
pestilence.
out.
Oh my god.
In one case, a user in r/Israel Exposed, a subreddit controlled by the r/Palestine network, posted a quote about the alleged detonation. Sorry, not detonation.
Detonation? We're detonating Palestinians? Oh fuck.
This is what the terrorists do. This is all they want to do. The alleged detention of a Palestinian boy under the title, quote, Israel soldiers abduct and beat children, end quote. The post was a direct quote from RNN, which was cited as the source, There we go.
Let's
The
go.
same
Big
text and
sourcing.
video
Big
were
sourcing.
also posted in r/Israel Crimes, also controlled by the network. While the content of the clip can be interpreted in different ways, the post is one of many examples of how the r/Palestine network funnels content from the RNN into Reddit. So question for my pro-Palestine co-host. Was this true? Did Israeli soldiers abduct and beat a child?
I don't know enough information to confirm or deny that, but it seems from this article that did not in fact happen.
Well, I would venture to guess that irrespective of whether or not it's true or false, this is still anti-Semitic.
Is the whole r/Israel Crimes anti-Semitic?
Certainly. There's anti-Semitic posts. And it's like, these people will make the same case for genocide. Like, oh, Israel isn't doing enough to prevent genocide. And it's like, okay, how about Reddit monitors that aren't doing enough to prevent anti-Semitism on their forums?
That's facts. But who are these Reddit moderators that we're talking about?
We actually get into them a little bit later into the article. Do you want to skip past? Well, I guess most of the article is actually here. So
yeah, this is kind of the meat.
This is kind of the meat. But my problem with this meat is I kind of don't care about anything until after this screenshot that they've got here.
Yeah, true. So we can skip down a little bit. The activity coordinated by the network is not restricted to posting content online. In fact, the network frequently promotes demonstrations and rallies organized by US designated terror groups on Reddit. In December, after Samidown was designated a terror entity, an account tied to the network posted an image from the rally organized by Samidown in Brazil with the title Free Palestine and the caption, Today is Sao Paulo BR. Unquote. Start quote? Unquote.
End quote.
End quote. A post like this would normally be an unambiguous example of free expression if it weren't for the fact that Samidown is a front organization for the PFLP designed to fundraise for Western audiences. In another example, one of the network's highly influential moderators, U/Shabah, directly sources Samidown content about a demonstration it organized in New York City in a Our Palestine post. The promotion of content from foreign terror organizations on Reddit, including by top moderators, raises serious legal concerns. U.S. material supports laws prohibiting aiding terror entities, including spreading propaganda, training guides, or recruitment tools. Forms of speech not protected by the First Amendment. Section 230 of the Communications Decency Act also does not shield platforms from criminal liability in such cases, which I'm not sure I totally agree with, but let's move on to this last portion. This poses a major risk for Reddit. Despite this, sources with direct knowledge told me Reddit's trust and safety executives have repeatedly failed to address the issue adequately, even though they're aware of it. These sources told me that dozens of attempts to alert the company about the pipeline were systematically ignored and sidelined. On one occasion, I was told Reddit senior trust and safety team members, including the VP of Data Science and Safety, openly laughed at the issue they raised.
Isn't that crazy? They just laughed at terrorism being allowed to proliferate for profit on their website. It's like,
so you know what? Maybe we should go after these fucking corpo bastards, these social media networks. Maybe we should go after them because they're clearly just laughing in our faces.
They are. It is crazy. And I would like to say that this article was written start of February 2025, and thank God the American government and Donald Trump were able to take measures in order to rein in some of the anti-Semitism that was going on TikTok by selling it to what's his name? Larry something? Larry Ellison. And what are your thoughts about Larry Ellison? Huh? Do you think he's gonna clamp down on pro-Israeli propaganda?
No, I'm pretty sure he's going to clamp down on TikTok's leftist pro-Palestine wing that might be part of this.
Because it's all like communication, propaganda.
Because he's a right-wing businessman. He's a corpo bastard.
So I think it is crazy that this article does have evidence of these people spreading terrorist and aiding terrorist entities.
And yet,
and spreading their propaganda.
And yet,
little tentative on the evidence for training guides or recruitment tools, but I'm sure that just follows. It is sort of just like, it makes sense. Like, obviously, if you're promoting your terrorist organization, you're probably also disseminating training guides or recruitment tools. So I say this not out of skepticism for this article, but out of intellectual discretion. What a great article. Do you have any problem with people posting photos from protests around the world? Like, do you feel happy when you see like there's a protest in Berlin? Or like in the UK?
It depends what the protest is. You know, when the protests recently in the UK where they were like trying to throw immigrants out of their house and burning their houses down, I don't know if I was into that protest. Or a couple months back when in the UK everybody was stabbing and
they're
throwing
Arab,
fireballs.
so it kind of makes sense. Actually, it actually kind of makes sense. Like, because they're Arab, yeah, it makes sense. Like, I kind of don't blame them, you know.
I mean, January 6th was a protest, but I don't really agree with that protest.
I mean, I think something that I see very frequently in these pro-Palestinian circles are pieces of propaganda from protest against these quote-unquote stolen land auctions, which honestly just perpetuates the ideas that the Jews have captured like the real estate market in some nefarious way by selling properties within their jurisdiction to other free agents. And
I
it's
think
like,
we
it's
need
quote
to
unquote
stop
stolen
worrying
or
about
whatever.
what
It's crazy.
their religion or race or gender or where they come from or ethnicity, any of that shit. I think it's just about class. I just think the wealthy and the 1% or 5%, if you want to go that far, are screwing up the rest of it for the rest of us.
Well, how much money do you think this U/Saba moderator, who seems to be the epicenter of this anti-Semitic organization, how much money do you think they are making?
I mean,
You
I
think they're
would
one of these
say
like
if they're...
Hassan buying a second house in New York?
No, I wouldn't
Guys?
say that, but if they're working with terrorist groups, then maybe. They're not even working directly with a terrorist group, though. They're just spreading the propaganda that terrorist groups are putting out. They're not getting paid to do it by a terrorist group.
See, but like, you don't know that. And this is also like another example. This is the third example of this toxic good faith from you.
Yeah, I assume everybody's a fucking idiot, not that they're a mastermind criminal.
And see, like, it does take a network of idiots and only a couple of masterminds in order to get the network moving. And it is really important that I think that we target these people who are involved, which is described in the next section, how the network operates.
So the backbone of Our Palestine Network is a group of moderators who control dozens of overlapping subreddits, with Our Palestine as the central hub. These users co-moderate the core group of ideological subreddits like r/Israel Crimes and r/Palestine News and r/Apartheid Israel, where the content is dedicated to intensive and sustained anti-Israel messaging. The moderator network is key, since Reddit mods hold sweeping authority over their communities, with the ability to remove posts, ban users, dictate discussion rules, and control visibility through pinned post and automated filters. They can shape narratives by approving or suppressing content, restricting participation with account age and karma requirements, and even preemptively censoring topics using auto-moderator. Much of the network's influence lies in popular subreddits that normally have nothing to do with Israel. For example, Saba, the highly influential member of the network mentioned previously, moderates topically relevant subreddits like Our Palestine, Our Israel Crimes, Our Palestinians, Our Palestine News, Our Apartheid Israel, and Our Pan-Arab. However, Saba also moderates Our Documentaries, Our There Was an Attempt, Our Public Freakout, Our IRL Easter Eggs, Our Toilet Paper USA, Our That's Actually Very Cool, and R/Boring Dystopia. A cluster of unrelated large subreddits that have been captured by the network. The network includes moderators like Blueberry Bubbly Buzz, who also operates another account in the network called Kumquat Conniption. Oh,
These are serious actors, Salty Squid. Please, for the love of God. These are serious terrorist organizations. And you're like letting yourself get blindsided by, because these are like silly names or something.
They're so cute, though. I love them.
Oh my God.
Plenitude, Opulence, Falafel 1998, Mochaccino, and dozens of others, many of whom also moderate the Our Palestine Discord server. Clustering together as mods gives the group effective control over some of the biggest subreddits on the site as of the time of this writing. On r/ There Was an Attempt, 7.2 million members, Saba, Kumquat, Conniption, Blueberry Buzz, all these moderators. So this part's just basically telling you which moderators are on which of the different Reddit pages that are unrelated to their propaganda.
Or not directly political.
Not directly political, but what I was saying earlier is they're using these channels more than likely to disseminate this information to normies who would not in otherwise normally engage with this type of stuff. They're getting outside their bubble into spaces that wouldn't cross over and trying to push this outside of their little bubble.
It is crazy that these people would just get sucked into like a bubble like this without any like critical pushback.
So to continue,
and they think they're like the Titan of reason.
R/ There Was an Attempt. What?
I don't think we need to like read out every single moderator that is part of these subreddits.
No, I wasn't going to do that.
The conspiracy does go deep, and it is like almost like metastatic.
If you want to see these filthy goblins' names, you can see them here on the screen. Take a screenshot. Go find them if you want. Harass them. No, I'm just kidding. Don't fucking.
Filthy goblins is actually such a good way of describing it, because these people really do just only help themselves. Like they won't listen to anybody else. They won't give aid or comfort or listen to any other ideas besides the ones that they're already pre-programmed. They just look out for themselves constantly at the detriment to everybody else around them.
Yeah, and they spread things like from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. How do you feel about that, Dispel?
I mean, it does call for... I mean, these people believe that they're being oppressed by the Jews, and so when they say that Palestine will be free, what they're referring to is the mass extinction of the Jews.
Are you completely sure about that?
I'm 100% certain of this. Okay. And the interesting thing is that college students, when you show them the origins of the phrase, they stop using it.
Yeah,
because
I mean,
these people are all
the best
naive
tagline.
Idiots who are looking for a better future, and unfortunately, they're just naive idiots that are going to be used and abused by sociopaths that want to kill Jews.
So in your worldview, either the Jews get wiped out or the Palestinians get wiped out. There is no middle ground?
Well, I'm sure there's a way for the Palestinians to survive, but it can't come at the expense of Jewish freedom.
Okay. Do you feel like Hamas is oppressing Jewish freedom currently?
Currently, certainly.
Oh. Oh, I forgot. October 7th is forever.
It was literally yesterday.
It was yesterday and it's tomorrow.
And the reason is because they've got all these tunnels that have been dug out underneath the city so that they can operate with impunity and hide underneath hospitals and things that like libraries or whatever.
I don't know
Hospitals
why
and
they would
universities.
continue to do that. We just use our AI to bomb schools that they're not hiding in anyway.
But then this article goes on to describe the infiltration into the r/there was an attempt subreddit, which is crazy. That you can just like ruin it, unilaterally ruin a subreddit like this. Just like literally bulldozing over a bunch of like innocent people's attention span with just bullshit. It's like people want to go to there was an attempt for chill, cute cat videos, like a cat that's like too small and too cute and too fat to like reach up to its bed and it's like jumping up with its paws. That's what people want to go to r/there was an attempt, but instead they bring in stuff like a guy charging the Super Bowl halftime show with a Palestinian flag, or a post quote featuring the caption, "There was an attempt to appear as the world's most powerful country," showing an image of Donald Trump pulling out a chair for Benjamin Netanyahu. And one day prior came a post with the caption, "There was an attempt to argue that opposing ethnic cleansing makes you anti-Semitic." And like, that's a little bit of a complicated thing to break down. So let me help. So they posted probably a video of somebody saying, "Hey, I've got a problem with the way that you talk about Israel. I think that you're incredibly anti-Semitic." And these disingenuous leftist freaks will just construe that as, "Look at this Zionist attempting to argue that opposing genocide or opposing ethnic cleansing makes you anti-Semitic." And it's like, wow, you even lowered the bar from genocide to ethnic cleansing to weasel this little jab against the Jewish populace. It's crazy, I tell you.
You're making me really fucking hard for me to argue the other side here.
Is it? Well, it is.
I have to sound so unhinged. I have to
leftist.
sound so anti-Semitic and unhinged to even argue against this.
Oh, I mean, you are anti-Semitic and unhinged, Salty Squid, because you are part of this red, green, brown alliance.
Oh,
you are
for sure.
effectively a
Oh, anyway, you want to finish up the last couple paragraphs of this article?
Sure, sounds great to me.
Okay.
So, something that I do wish that this article would have done, just to cement the case that these people are conspiring across Reddit to conduct posts, is, and there are tools for this, you can search, and how astroturfed these subreddits and this movement truly is. I wish that the author of this article, our beloved South African Zionist, would have put in a piece of like data analysis saying, okay, this is the r/Palestine Reddit, and these are the subreddits that people will often frequent in sort of a network, with the links between subreddits becoming bigger based on the common users. And so we can generate essentially a cluster map of how isolated these people truly are in the political worlds, because they just keep gatekeeping everybody around them. So another thing that I'm interested in is in these astroturfed subs, these astroturf subreddits, what percentage of the posts are from moderators versus these naive, Salty Squid-esque leftists? I don't know.
Do you know? You don't know?
I don't know. I wish
I thought you knew everything. That's why we started a show together. I wanted you to
wish this
teach
journalist
me
would have done it.
the knowledge of the universe, and you don't know.
Okay, speaking of journalists, the article goes on to describe how the r/Palestine got its fingers inside r/documentaries, which really doesn't make sense, because what does news and reporting visual media have to do with Israel-Palestine?
both sides are using documentaries as propaganda, so I think it's actually a pretty good place for them to go if they want to spread their own propaganda.
Curious that you would say that. Very curious that you would say that. And it is because Israel is one of the most moral countries in the world that lets journalists enter into Gaza and war zones freely.
Yeah, absolutely. I've never heard of an Israeli sniper doing anything wrong.
Well, maybe they shouldn't have stepped out of the breadline. How about that? The extent to which other network-controlled subreddits are so obviously astroturfed would be hilarious if moderators weren't using them to distribute propaganda made by terrorists. A mod announcement titled, "We're a pro-Palestine leftist subreddit" is pinned to the top of r/toiletpaperusa. For our listeners at home, Toilet Paper USA is a snark community aimed at Turning Point USA before Charlie Kirk was tragically murdered by the radical left. It is actually crazy how snarking will directly lead to
I
death.
can't let that fly.
On Reddit. It is crazy.
The FBI killed Charlie Kirk. We all know this.
Okay.
It was Kash Patel.
What was he saying? Why did they take him out?
Because he was turning on Israel secretly in the background.
Oh my god.
And he wasn't
Well,
shot,
case, he
bro. His
deserved
microphone exploded. That's why it went through his neck.
Very clever. It's almost like the pagers. Very clever. Very nice. Okay. Every other post on r/public freakout is protest footage. The pinned post. Shut up. I got potatoes on the minds.
Footage.
The pinned post on r/boring dystopia is a list of the ways to donate to Palestine, which includes a link to the r/Palestine's fundraising page. Does this fundraising page lead to terrorist organizations r/Palestine? Be honest, r/Palestine. Does it lead to terrorist organizations? Come on. Come on. And its recommended subreddits include r/Palestine, r/Israel crimes, and other network-controlled subreddits. It is crazy how they will web Reddit users into a seemingly innocuous bubble of information that is deliberately designed to foment anti-Semitism against Jews across the world.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
One of the biggest non-relevant subs controlled by the network, and that one at that, and one that at 20 million members. Sorry, I got a little too Zionist.
He's speaking in tongues. He's speaking in tongues. The end is near.
The 20 million members is amongst the most popular subreddits on the site. Is r/documentaries, co-moderated by Saba, our Kumquat Conniption, Blueberry Bubbly Buzz, and Falafel 1988. Well, there's more actually. Oh, you know, Plentitude Opulence and another member of the network, Paul Rep. The subreddit is dominated by the r/Palestine network, and its members constituted 8 out of the subreddit's 14 not bot moderators. That is crazy. Who let all these who-omega-lols onto r/documentaries? Don't they know that that is a sacred place to discuss visual media where politics just doesn't belong?
I mean, if you want to spread your message, that's what you got to do. Personally, I'm not into spreading messages. I think telling other people how to live or think is really bad.
Okay, well, it gets crazier, because take a listen to this. At a glance,
God, he's so fucking dismissive of me, chat. Can you see this?
I mean, it's because you're an
My worldviews mean nothing to him.
I don't need to take you seriously. That's why.
Oh my god.
At a glance, r/documentaries content shows what you would suppose. Links to documentaries, mainly on YouTube. Woven into these videos, however, is a steady through line, a subliminal through line of anti-Israel or pro-Palestinian propaganda on a cycle that separates them by mere days. In some cases, no more than a single hour to go from the terrorists to the front page of Reddit. No other topic or theme on r/documentary receives this persistent and intensive focus. Do you want to describe some of the anti-Semitic
examples
pieces of media that are circulating?
Examples include films like The Palestinian, which features Yasser Arafat, asserting that the only solution to the Israel-Palestine conflict is the liquidation of Israel. This is Gaza.
By the way,
quote.
that guy was appointed by Hitler.
Jesus. Yeah, you fucking threw me off with the Hitler remark. Give me a second while I refill my coffee.
All right. Give us a couple examples of what's going on this Palestinian-controlled r/documentaries subreddit.
So some examples include films like The Palestinian, which features Yasser Arafat, asserting that the only solution to the Israel-Palestine conflict is the liquidation of Israel. This is
By the way,
Gaza.
Yasser Arafat, hold on, Yasser Arafat was in fact appointed by Hitler.
Weren't you also appointed by Hitler?
Me? What the fuck? No, I'm not that old. Pioneers only live like 20 years.
Oh, Jesus Christ. You're like a baby.
In bird years? No.
I'm like 2,000 years old. This is insane.
Missing 2,000 years of paying attention to the rest of the paragraph.
You interrupted me to talk about Hitler, you fucking freak.
It's crazy how you're older than
It's crazy how you'll literally insert Hitler into any conversation.
the guy who killed a bunch of Jews. Yeah, obviously as the Zionist in this conversation. Yes, the entire liberal world order stands against Hitler. Like, I'm sorry, Salty Squid. I know you are very firmly in this red, green, brown alliance, but like, yes. Okay? Yes, Hitler
Other
is
examples
important
of
to the founding
films
Israel. Oh my
like
God.
This is Gaza, which spotlights Palestinian suffering in the Strip. Another example, quote, How Ethnic Cleansing Created Israel, and, quote, Holy Redemption Stealing Palestinian Land, and another, quote, Breaking the Zionism, Jewish Voices for Justice, quote, Germany's Blind Support for Israel, caption, quote, Shedding Light on the one of the main actors behind this genocide, and, quote, How the Wars on Gaza Created Massive Profits. These are all names of different documentaries that you can find in r/documentaries, which are pushing the different propaganda that they're talking about. Given the prominence of Israel Gaza in the news, you might think that the content on r/documentaries is organic, but this is not the case. Saba, one of the primary moderators of the r/Palestine subreddit, Discord server, and multiple nodes of the network, begrades upvotes for posts featuring anti-Israel videos to ensure these posts end up positioned prominently. This is probably a bad. Is it a bad? Do you think it's a bad, Dispel?
I mean, they just like bump each other's posts, and we've got direct evidence of them upvoting a post that they made. Look, Saba, with their little Palestinian hate flag, is asking people to upvote it, and then they do upvote it. Look, there's 3 upvotes and 19 comments on this documentary's post.
Oh my god, it's blowing up. I can't believe it. Almost
The
like
second
a
one has
rocket
no
in the
upvote
Strip.
and 10 comments.
It doesn't seem like this
Tell us-
propaganda is reaching that many people.
Well, we could prove or disprove that by looking up these articles.
I would never
A year
submit
later,
my
Reddit.
hard drive to that kind of abuse.
Yeah. Because, like, we already know the fact of the matter is that these people are incompetent. Like, it's not going far. And we can't let it go any further because otherwise we might get pogroms or people might do Aliyah, which, as a Zionist, I would hate people feeling insecure in their countries around the world and coming to Israel. I would hate
So
that.
why haven't these people been arrested yet?
It needs to happen. And I'm hoping that quietly, in the time since this article has been written, that all of these Reddit moderators have been tracked down by Palantir and been deported by the Trump administration.
Right.
It's crazy they'll bring Germany and its quote unquote blind support for Israel into this as well, because the number one vendor for Israel is America, and the second biggest vendor is Germany. And it's like, okay, well, these people just want to make sure that a Holocaust doesn't happen again, and it's these people these terrorists on Reddit who want it to happen again.
I mean, I don't think anybody really wants another Holocaust to happen. Except, well, that's
I
kind of
beg to
naive.
differ. I think there's plenty of people that want it to happen.
That's
again.
kind of naive. I take that back. But
Okay, let's. What?
I just wanted to go to the end of the article because it proves you wrong and proves me right about the whole having good faith. So here, let's read this real quick.
Literally, we're going to read how much of a circle jerk these massive media propaganda machines are. Okay, fine, go ahead. Yeah, it's going to prove me wrong.
So the concluding summary and final thoughts of the author of this article, Mr. Ashley, he says, good propaganda has varying objectives and standards. In some cases, it's to sow just enough doubt to create a wedge. In other cases, the aim is to cajole or convince or intimidate opposition into silence. What's unique to the r/Palestine is that it's likely the first major propaganda effort that brings to bear the full range of digital platforms and capabilities, from messaging apps like Telegram to the forum modality. Goddamn, I fucked that up. Cut. Good propaganda. You want to read this one?
You started from good propaganda?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, yeah, the rest of this is just like complaining about this one guy who's got a Twitter
account. I want to read, so you read the one with good propaganda, but I really want to read the next one because that's what proves you wrong and proves me right.
Okay, sure, I'll do it. So the article says, skipping a bunch of material talking about how deeply entwined this organization is with Reddit and even Quora, the author continues saying,
who uses
Quora?
Quora is for your
I don't even know.
Your drunk aunt at 3 a.m. uses Quora. Some lonely people that are getting divorced use Quora. Who the fuck uses Quora?
People were using Alexa before Quora even existed. It's crazy.
Oh my god.
Anyways, good propaganda has varying objectives and standards. In some cases, it's to sow just enough doubt to create a wedge. In other scenarios, the aim is to cajole or convince or intimidate opposition into silence. And I'll have you know, we will not be silenced. What is unique to r/Palestine is that it's likely the first major propaganda effort that brings to bear the full range of digital platforms and capabilities, from messaging apps like Telegram to the forum modality of Reddit, the group discussion of Discord, and amplification of ancillary networks like X and Quora.
And then there's the part where you kept saying multiple times that I had such naive good faith in these people. But right here it says, the truth is that the network is doing what propaganda is designed to do. Influence masses of people without them knowing. Its success in camouflaging the network is evidenced by the fact that the Reddit continues to deny this is an issue, but that only making it more effective, giving it a freedom to maneuver that propagandists of yesteryear could have only dreamt of. So see, they do recognize that the people being targeted do not know the source of this. They're not acting as terrorist genocidal freaks connected to Hezbollah and other terrorist networks on purpose. They're just absorbing their propaganda in a diluted form.
Well, no, because the masses are directly different than the users that this article explicitly names. These people are culpable, Salty Squid, in cultivating an audience of masses who aren't even aware that they're being influenced by non-state terrorist Islamic jihadists.
I mean, yeah, but
so
aren't
don't
we
try
all
and
being
sweep for these moderators?
Aren't we all being brainwashed and propagandized by someone?
Yeah, okay, but like, some of it is correct and some of it is not correct.
The final paragraph of this reads, while there may be some top-down control somewhere much further up the food chain, the network successfully merges deliberate control with an ability to commandeer existing networks. It's a symbiotic approach that hijacks the democratic dynamics embedded in the spaces where speech and expression are open and free, all performed in service of radical ideologies that seek nothing more than totalitarian control of how we think and what we think about. So that's interesting.
It is crazy how much we do need to think about these totalitarian organizations of control that are parsing through massive amounts of data to unsuspecting Americans and potentially influencing their choice of media on YouTube, on Twitter, on TikTok even, and it's like, I know who I would prefer to be regulating these organizations.
The CIA, the FBI. I would like some three-letter
preferably people
organization
who
to be looking
aren't-
into this.
People who aren't anti-Semitic. Is that like too much to ask for?
I think that you should not be anti-Semitic, but I think that hating what Israel is doing on a political
butt.
scale and
Oh, that little butt.
with their war machine, I do not think that that makes you anti-Semitic. I disagree that hating what Israel as a state is doing on the world scale equates to anti-Semitism. I think that hating the Jews as people and hating their religion and their culture is what makes you anti-Semitic. There are plenty of Jews that disagree with Israel.
Unfortunately for you, those are like self-hating Jews that are like performatively been brainwashed by radical leftists like you.
And what does that make you?
You're hiding your power level is what I think it is.
Well, I am a kaiju, so if I unleashed my power level, you wouldn't be able to look at me. It'd be blinding.
Release the Kraken!
You would destroy a bunch of ships.
Yeah. Drop me in the Strait of
how do you-
Hormuz. I'll fix the whole situation in like 15 minutes.
By not letting boats go through?
By destroying everything.
Okay. That sounds like a plan to me, but
It's called
somehow we're gonna have to get you to the
accelerationism.
ocean.
We fill the Strait of Hormuz with boats and then nobody can use it and then it becomes useless and then we don't have to pay any tolls to Iran and we just go other routes.
Yeah. Okay, well, here's a suggestion. How about we accelerate the end of this episode and accelerate us getting out of this bunker? Because it's getting, like, sticky and, like,
It's pretty
dank.
moist in here, I'm not gonna lie. I like it, but I don't know if it's good for your skin.
It's not good for me.
I brought the salt.
I
Did
need
you
to see the sun. I need to see the sun. I can't be hiding out in your radical leftist tunnels.
This
under
is
the
some
city
toxic
that I was
content
born
that we went over today. I'm just trying to protect us from any
And it's
stray
all
missiles.
your fault. And it's all your fault.
Listen. Palantir has hooked themselves up into the rockets and they could be after us already. I'm just saying.
They could. There could be a rocket aimed directly at your house right now. For all of the anti-Semitic things that you've said.
You go then. You go first.
Go where? Go outside?
Outside. Get the fuck out. Get out of here. This is my bunker now.
Okay, maybe if can you like open the door for me? and I
Only
can, like, fly
donut
out?
brains allowed.
Can you like use one of your tentacles to open the door so that I've got like a straight shot and I can build like a decent amount of momentum?
I was
Maybe
hoping
I can
that
avoid.
you'd just run into the screen, honestly.
Oh, like Wile E. Coyote.
Yeah.
It is crazy how like soon these radical leftists will just resort to violence.
Wile E. Coyote died for our sins. That's my fucking hero, bro.
Speaking of the violence that you should enact on this video is liking and subscribing to Twin Beaks.
I don't wanna wait for our lives to be over. I want the socialist revolution now. I don't wanna wait till the AI takes us over. I want to live and get paid real money. What do you think? Are the corpo feudalist lords going to annihilate us in the next couple weeks?
We'll find out, I guess, together.
Together, beak to beak.
And if you don't hear
tentacle
from
to
beak
wing.
to beak, I guess so.
Thank you for joining us on Beak to Beak at Twin Beaks with the Twin Beak Bros. I've been Salty.
I've been Dispel.
And thank you for joining us. Please like and subscribe. Fill the comment section with silly little retorts. Tell us how wrong we are. I know we're very wrong. But tell us
Tell
how you
Salty
think
Squid
we're
how
wrong.
anti-Semitic he actually is.
Oh my god, I am not an anti-Semitic. We disavow anti-Semitism on this channel. Don't listen to this crazy fucking pigeon. He didn't take his pills last week, and this is the result. He's just going around calling everybody anti-Semite, putting jackets on people that don't even fit into jackets. Look at these tentacles. I wouldn't even fit into an anti-Semite jacket. Stop it.
Oh, so you would fit into multiple versions of anti-Semitism?
I can become whatever I want, okay? You can't contain me.
Okay.
Peaks. You know it's time to get the lab coat on. Twin Peaks. Yeah. Cause we out here being hella wrong. Twin Peaks. And you know we're never stopping till the hammer drop.